Hi, this is Bob. We have a meeting at 9 o'clock today. My apologies, my schedule has me running about 10 minutes behind. See you shortly and look forward to hearing about your project. You know, it drives me absolutely crazy when I'm late to an appointment. It's not the best first impression. Book, welcome folder. So last week when I was out here, I briefly touched on a few things. So I just want to recap all the things that we did here. So there used to be right here, there used to be a wall that went across the whole back of the house. Obviously that was the exterior of the house. Then we have the addition, old house, new house. On the top here, we put a beam that stretches the whole width of the house, and then that's carrying all the weight from above. But as I was walking through here today, I saw this and I thought this was kind of interesting. Old door, old window, old door button. So that was just covered up by the last time somebody did an addition on this house. But if you look at, you see this right here, this is interesting. So right here is where the old deck used to shoot out from the house, because there was a second floor deck just flaking apart. Now, what that's from is when you put a deck onto the side of somebody's house, you're supposed to properly flash a ridge board or the rim board that runs along the whole length of the house. You're supposed to put a little piece of flashing to divert the water away from the building. And in this case, whoever put the deck on did not do that, because this whole thing was just dry rotted away. It was really bad where we ended up putting the beam in. So I want to point out some of the framing techniques that we use when building new construction. So whenever you're framing a wall, you want to go with a double top plate, which is this guy right here. Whenever you have a floor joist that can land on a wall, you do not need a hanger. Whenever you have a floor joist that you cannot land on a wall, you need a joist hanger. And then every joist hanger has a different nail pattern. New floor, old floor. For the purpose of it's easier to fur up the new floor, it'll always get framed a little bit lower than the existing floor, as it's easier for us to build this floor up than to try to push this floor down. You get the idea. So this little bump right here was on purpose. It was important on the upstairs to make sure that we keep the existing windows. So to do that, we frame the wall just a few inches away so that we could maintain this big window and not have to mess with the outside. We did, however, need to frame a new window in over here, and there was just really nothing we could do about that because we had to work with what we had. So in many cases, to compromise between the old design and the new design, and also being flexible. Can't move that. So that's got to stay. So the closet got a little smaller. To save space, we're putting a pocket door in right here. And that's going to go into a nice primary closet. Vents. It's always something that people forget about, but you got to have a vent over a window. So we'll need to extend this vent so that it hits the window over there. We already have a vent to hit the window here. We'll need to add one over there. So here's an interesting fact. This house is 3 roofs. This is the oldest part of the house. This is the second oldest part of the house. And way down there is the new part of the house. Second oldest part of the house. Oldest part of the house. The way I can tell that this is the oldest part is, look at this. See these slats? That's how I know it's the oldest part of the roof. Because then they put plywood on top of that. And that's just how they did things 100 years ago. Also, you could tell by the ceiling or the roof rafter. See how thin the roof rafter is? It's only a 2x4. Then we get into 1970s construction. And we look up here. We see plywood. And we see a 2x6 roof rafter. Then there's how we frame today. See the difference? 2x8 roof rafter. Old 2x6 roof rafter. So it's like we started off with 2x4s. Then 80 years go by, we go to 2x6s. Then another 40, 50 years go by, and we're at 2x8s. So by the time it's 2050, we should be at 2x10s for roof rafters. Seems like every 30 to 40 years we increase another 2 inches on our roof rafters. You know, like I've spoken in other videos, this house is actually 3 houses in one. It's quite interesting. You know, when we started this project, we came to learn that this home was actually what they call existing non-conforming. And what that means is the zoning formulated around the property. And so the property is older than the zoning laws. So when we went to do this addition, we actually had to go for variances and all sorts of stuff to make sure that we could do this project. So the actual old portion of the house is 1890s, 1880s, which was this section and the other section over here. And then we get into our new construction here. And then above this was the second phase. So we're on the third phase of building onto this house. I'd say bring snacks and drinks and sunscreen. I'll bring a big speaker. A hat is also a good idea. The water reflects the sun off the water, so I always end up sunburnt with bad tan lines because I'm sitting the whole time.
Disclaimer, Timmy called me last night and was like, I don't want to do it. I want to just go fishing. I don't want to waste my day driving you guys around, you know?
Oh, so now we do have to load them up on our car?
No. So then I told him, I was like, nah, bro, just come canoeing with us. So now he's going to come in our canoe too.
So there's going to be 3 of us in the canoe?
Yeah. This one's actually like super old.
How far into the water does it sink? Like up to the edge? I mean, there's 3 of us. How big's your cousin? I mean, between the 2 of us, we're 400 pounds. No, we're actually probably 440, 450.
And my cousin's huge too.
So it's going to be 600 pounds coming down the river in this?
Easy. You know how brutal this canoe race is going to be? I don't think you know what you're getting yourself into.